affordable housing is polling number one, why in the world are we talking about public safety? Well, I think it's several things. I think the weighted results is super important, making sure that communities are not over or underrepresented in the results that we get on the back end. But what I think is better is quantitative data is so important, but so too is qualitative data. And rarely do you see a polling entity combining those two. So not only do we get thousands of people responding to the poll itself, but then you have at least a third, sometimes more than that, that are responding in real time, letting you know, not only am I voting for your candidate, but here's why, or this is all the reasons I can't stand your candidate, which is also really good information for us to know. So what we have often done is run a poll and then go back to the drawing board, look at our outreach efforts, look at what communities we're reaching out to, and sometimes the polling shows that we need to pivot, and that's what we do. Several great things. The first is AI integration. I think that we are living in a modern day world, and if we are not integrating AI into our systems, then we're not getting ahead. We're being left behind. And so both the survey compilation and the stratification and its usage of AI, to me, sets you all apart in such a unique way that we don't see really anywhere else. So whether that be helping me formulate the questions in a way, I tend to like to lead people to an answer, and we know leading questions are not good. So Vottiv's AI integration actually helps me avoid leading people to a response that I wish they would take. I was able to set up and deploy and receive results in a poll all within 24 hours. I mean, setting it up itself less than 30 minutes, I would say. What's really fabulous about Vottiv is they have made it to where if you build a survey in the system, that survey can then be translated to a polling question as well. So that has saved me a lot of time. Oftentimes the same info I'm asking people at the door is the same info I'd like to collect in a poll. And so rather than working harder, we work smarter and just convert that survey to a poll, which allows us to, put it out there really quickly. It's been huge. I mean, again, we're not polling just on candidates, but we're polling on issues. What are the top issues that affect Athens-Clarke County, Georgia voters? Is that affordable housing, or is that fiscal responsibility in government, right? And what we found is those two are at the top. But my point is, you cannot formulate good policy if you do not have data to back it up that the people in which you are serving want that. And so we have used it to do issue-based polling, ranking of issues. We have used it to learn about favorability and unfavorability of candidates beyond just who are you voting for. So all of that brings us back to the drawing board to say, hey, if affordable housing is polling number one, why in the world are we talking about public safety that's at number 7, right? So it really enables us to look at what voters care about and then adjust our policy accordingly. And what I will say is we don't change our policy. It's just what are we focusing on when we're talking to voters. And while public safety is really important, if that's not what people are saying in the poll they care about, maybe it is important for us to pivot and talk about something else. So that's just an example of how we're using the polling beyond learning where my candidates stand, but also to inform what we're talking about, what issues we're centering, and what policies we're putting out. It gave me more insight to know what issues people care about in the beginning of a campaign than even who people were voting for. When you have 51% of people undecided, but you have everybody telling you the most important issue, you better listen. I would say go for it. Vottiv is the solution, I think, of the modern age for consultants and candidates alike. I think it is several things. It is cost effective, whether you're running a small local campaign of 10,000 residents and the universe is really small, or you're running a congressional campaign of hundreds of thousands, the solutions are still the same and they're based on the size of your universe. So I find it to be very affordable. I find it to be very user friendly. I think a lot of us have experienced the state-run apps that are associated with parties that tend to, not update appropriately or are outdated in their data. What I have found is that Vottiv is very updated and they're keeping us updated as people are voting, which is also great. So I would just say it is easy, it is affordable, it is user-friendly, and it is a solution to win, because I have not run a candidate through Vottiv that has lost.